Before we get to our episode, I want to take a moment to tell you about a platform that is revolutionizing the way SMP artists market their clinics, and best of all, you don't need to spend money on ads to use it. The platform is called HighLead, and it's a complete sales and marketing system created by an SMP artist that is guaranteed to generate more bookings for your clinic. HighLead helps you capture, nurture, and close more business with dozens of features, including your own website chat widget, a unified text message, phone, and email marketing system, a review management system, helpful automations, and so much more. And beyond that, HighLead's team gives you one-on-one sales and marketing training, step-by-step onboarding calls, and responsive support. If you're ready to fill your pipeline with quality SMP leads, check out HighLead right now at gohighlead.com. You can get access to a 20-minute overview video to see behind the scenes or book a live one-on-one demo with the founder to get all your questions answered with absolutely no risk or obligations. Check out gohighlead.com today. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Scalp Solutions Podcast. I am your host, David Santiago, and today we're going to drop some value bombs. We don't have an SMP artist, but we have somebody that can help create an amazing SMP artist. Not the actual technique, but an actual brand. And I'm super hype. I've been trying to get her on for a very long time, and she's incredibly busy because she's incredibly awesome. I have my guest, Stefani Baca.
Thank you, David.
What is up, Stefani?
What's going on? Happy.
So here's how I want to start off. First, Happy New Year's. Secondly, I said something the last time that we were together, and I want to start this podcast off like this because I want the listeners to understand the kind of value that that you're gonna provide, right? I'll lead and you'll give them all. So the last time that I was with you, right, we were all working together, and you gave your portion of the marketing content creating course for Taylor Perry's training. And as you were doing that, I looked over to Thomas Bermuda, shout out to Orlando SMP, and verbatim, I looked at him and I said, bro, I would fucking pay $2,500 just for this portion.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
I think I posted it somewhere or whatever, but I was like, it wasn't like you would tap, like you didn't go like way deep down, like content creating and marketing. We're talking about like entry level shit that just we don't have any idea about. And I know it can go crazy, but you just like, you rode the fine line. And I said to him, I'm telling you, I was like, I would pay $2,500 for that. Like I would pay whatever your price is, sit me down for your 5 hours. Cause I know the animal I'm going to become with the knowledge that you have. And I watch you on social media. I see you these events. You're around the right people. I see you. I've been watching you. So that being said, Stefani, please tell us what's the name of your business and where is it that you guys are located?
We currently are in Destin, Florida, but don't let it scare anybody because we travel all around the world to see our clients. We are on social media at My Tai Productions. That's more of our fitness brand, kind of where we got our start into branding My Tai. And then we have My Tai Media, and that's My Tai Media is more of our social media content creation, showing reels. We're going to transform that brand more into helping businesses, give them tips, show them how we do certain things, more value. We're going to offer more value on that handle. So you could check us out at My Tai Media.
Is it going to be free value?
Free value.
Free value.
But
free value is the new dollar sign.
It is. And with every free value, you also let people know that you know what you're talking about. And then it encourages them to purchase. You give them a preview, so then they get to purchase what it is that you're offering.
And then you send them to the funnel?
Then you send them to the funnel. And then they're in. And then you just keep offering value through your emails until you hook them. 13
look at that. Right there, you just gave a blueprint. They don't even know. That's a quick little blueprint. So Stefani, what from a business perspective, like I don't want to, belittle the business or anything like that. Are you considered a marketing business? Are you a content creating business? What exactly is it?
I find that we're more of, it's so hard to just stick one hat on because we wear so many. We focus on content creation for sure. And then because we have marketing background, we also help businesses. We see the holes that they have and they're scaling. Like some businesses will plateau. And it really depends on where they are. They could be just starting out with no clue on how to do social media. So we'll consult them, we'll audit their accounts, we'll show them some areas that they can maybe improve on their own. Or we have multi-million, billion, million, whatever companies where they're just plateauing and they want to go next level and they don't have time to do it on their own. So then we can step in and educate them and show them how to get their business who might be dinosaur era into the virtual and digital marketing realm.
Got it. So now my relationship with you is just known through the SMP world. Like, is that what you guys solely focus on? Is it SMP, or are you
It's
guys able
not.
to bring?
Yeah, it's not actually. Taylor was a beautiful unicorn that entered our lives, and it ended up just kind of growing and blossoming into this incredible relationship. And he's a perfect client as an example to show how we could scale him. When we first met him, he was making, five figures, and we took him to a six figure within 3 months. It's a good example. So I think we kind of take that blueprint and we take it into every business opportunity that we have. And the goal is just to let our clients either save time, to get them into the marketing realm, to just help them rebrand themselves, reboot, and to just get into that competitive market. But we have all kinds. I mean, our clients do all kinds of things. We have supplement clients. We did a documentary that was on Netflix a few years ago. We had the first ever independent produced series on Hulu when that came out. So really, we don't. No job is too little or too big for us. Anywhere someone needs a camera, we'll show up and we'll just kill
Make
it.
it happen and kill it.
We'll
Ki-
kill it.
So now let me I want to tap in just with a little with Taylor before we move more on, like, all the other, the
Mhm.
knowledge and stuff that you have, right? Because this is a SMP related podcast. So now with Taylor, we all know who he is. We all know he's a amazing personality. We all know what he's capable of when it comes to the respects of being an SMP artist. How do you, like, what was the mindset like when you see him? Like, what made you know, like, hey, I can take that guy and I can bring him to a whole other level?
I think when we met Taylor, I said, you're sitting on a gold mine and you don't even know it. And he has that thing. First of all, his personality is incredible. Taylor is just such a special individual. And what people see on social media and who he is behind
Yes,
doors,
totally.
different people, I hear people say all the time, oh, he seems so cocky. He's not, he's just a sweet teddy bear who
He
just is
makes
really,
great coffee.
yeah, I mean, he's confident in his brand. I think there's a difference in being confident and being cocky. And I don't feel like Taylor's cocky. I think he's just really confident. He knows what he's doing. He's good at what he does. He has years of experience to back up what he does. And he's got the creative brains. And I think when we saw that, I looked at him and said, I got this. I can make you what you want. And also he's really creative. He's got this brain that he's always thinking of how to level up and do something different and keep going and evolve as the industry changes. Gets a
So
lot of
now
credit.
you say that you saw it as a gold mine. He was sitting on a gold mine. Now, was that from just knowing uh like numbers within hair loss, like just knowing those numbers, or was it just because you knew scalp micropigmentation is not really known out there and you just knew what you could do to somewhat make it a household name? Well, at least the brand, the Taylor Perry brand.
Yeah, I think when I met Taylor, I didn't know anything about SMP. I had never heard of it. My friends had never heard of it. Even still today, when I talk to people, they don't know what it is. So I feel that there's still a market that's untapped, and people and so many SMP artists. I know it might feel like there are more artists out there, but look at a haircut facility. How many you could walk and throw a quarter and hit a haircut barbershop. And I think that the people think it's saturated, and it's not that it's saturated. It's still not even known. It's not even known fully in the United States. It's definitely not known internationally. And then there's also the female target that no one's even talking about. So to me, I think people can get discouraged and they're like, oh, there's so many people doing it, I don't need to do it anymore. Well, no, now's the time to do it. And I think when I met with Taylor, it was even more brand new. So I knew that there were opportunities where we could put money on ads and we could really scale it on a small financial budget. And then he did. And then we've noticed that the budget changes with our ads now because there are more people in our industry. Thank God. Because then it also shows the good apples and the bad apples.
Right.
So I could see how people would be discouraged as artists, but
So when you say a small budget, right? Let's think of it in terms of me being a brand new SMP artist, right? And I want to put myself. What would be an ideal? small budget for a
Mhm.
for a new artist? We're not talking. Don't talk about not Dave, not Scalp Solutions, David. Let's talk about like
Well,
David's
if you're just starting out as an SMP artist, and when I say starting out, I mean you're just starting SMP and you haven't even been in the industry for about a year, I would discourage you to put money on ads. I wouldn't even touch an ad. Save your money because and Taylor talks about this in his training too. The artist needs to build their portfolio, they need to build their knowledge, they need to perfect their craft. So if you're just starting out and you haven't done, 20 heads, you have no business running ads saying that you're the best of the best. My advice would be to get good at your craft first and start building your portfolio and start tapping into your local market. Who do you know? Who do you know knows? Who are your friends and family that could benefit from it? Start small, go there because it can be really intimidating going into the meta world with all the ads. And there's just no business for new SMP artists being in there yet. That's my advice.
So you say brand new artists shouldn't even be worrying about ads. You should be
Mm-hmm.
worrying about building the portfolio, right? Give some
Mm-hmm.
proof of concept before you go out there and push it out for everyone.
Yeah.
So now,
Unless of course you have a really solid website, you have incredible pictures, you have funnels lined up, you have an email blast ready to go. To me, I think it's putting the cart before the horse. Because then if you run an ad, where are you going to send them? Are you going to send them to a website that doesn't exist? Are you going to send them to your DMs? Do you have the capacity to answer those DMs? Do you know what you're talking about? Do you have pictures, befores and afters? Do you have certain case studies in those particular clients' minds of what they want to see? I mean, you have to really don't set yourself up for failure and spend $100 a day on an ad if you can't navigate them to a certain place.
you bring up a really good point because this is something that I totally did too, not knowing any better. When I started
Mm-hmm.
out on social media, you pay. And at the time I didn't have a website, but it was like, you know what? I'm hitting the floor running. I want to bring people to what? My Instagram page.
Yeah. How'd that work out for you?
It didn't because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know how to control that. Like I was still trying to figure out my avatar. Like yeah, we all know there's whatever 65 million men and women suffering from hair loss, but not every one of them is my ideal client. Like I kind of knew I was gonna be able. I thought I would be marketable to the urban crowd, but here I am throwing that. Not only that, I also didn't have the discipline to be on social media as much to follow up.
Mm-hmm. And why is that, you think?
I don't think I even bothered to get like that basic information. Like I didn't even seek that out. I just automatically assumed that, you know what, I have something that I know can change someone's life, and I know there's hundreds and millions of people that are suffering from hair loss. They're gonna find me. That was just my. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, and it's social media. I'm gonna put $100. I do my little here the people who I want to target, and then I send it off. And I thought, all right, now I'm in. And the next thing you know, I'm spending $3,000 and maybe a lead.
Mm-hmm. One lead. Wow. And see, that's the thing too. There's the meta world where you're doing the ads. It's so complicated. And I'm not trying to discourage people from doing it. Actually, as of 2023, I just had a client we ran an ad on, and they are making it, they have a kind of a basic rundown now that shows clients how to access the ads where it's not as complex on the back end. So good job to Meta for that. But the thing is too, like you're saying, when you're starting out, you're also trying to open your business, you're trying to get clients in the seat, you're trying to get your insurance set up, you're trying to get your license, there's so many other parts that you're doing. Are you going to have time to be on social media answering the DMs if you're sending people to your profile? It can be very overwhelming for new artists, and I completely understand that. So my suggestion would just be focus on your profile and focus on building up the portfolio and just have fun, enjoy it in the first couple months. And I know that doesn't pay the bills. I get it. Because I also understand people make an investment in training and opening studios. I understand all of that. Trust me, it can be very scary, but don't be scared. Be confident and know what you're doing. Believe in what you're doing. Because if you believe in what you're doing, your customers are going to believe in what you're doing.
Yeah,
And if you don't believe in what you're doing, they're going to know it
they're
right
gonna
off the
smell
bat and they're going to go to
that.
somebody else.
Yeah, they're gonna smell that from a whole other state away. They're gonna know this guy don't know what
Yeah.
he's talking about. So now
Uh-huh.
back with social media, and like bringing them back to your page. I remember you discussing some very basic strategies that help, and one of them, I'll give you the scenario. Right, I post an amazing before and after picture, and I now have 75 comments where people are like, this is amazing work. What should I, David Santiago, as a new SMP artist, just put out my first fire content and now I'm getting some feedback? Do I just look at that and go, beat my chest, I'm the best SMP artist in New York? Or is there another step that I should take that also benefits me?
Great question. And I'm glad you bring this up because I find that this is an area where a lot of people drop the ball. If you had 75 comments on a post, those are 75 potential leads free. You didn't have to run an ad for it. You just got 75 people that say, this is awesome. So, what I would say right away, put a little heart, like it, and then comment back, respond to every single person. And some people claim that there's this algorithm. If you respond quicker, it shows that your post is getting more engagement, and then Instagram's going to put it on the search bar and the explore page. Maybe not, but you have nothing to lose, so you might as well respond and engage and let people feel like they have that relationship. It's called social media. It's a social connection, and if you're ghosting all these people, maybe they're not going to comment on the next post. And also, what I tell a lot of people in our class is you look at the behavior of what we do on social media now, especially with TikTok out there. How often are we on our phones just scrolling? And I think people find that as the likes go down, that their posts aren't getting engaged, that they're shadow banned, there's all these things happening to their account. Well, one of two things are happening. Either A, they are watching it, which you see your story and your real views going up, but not your likes. Okay, that's great. People are still watching. But to have somebody actually click the like button on your post nowadays or to leave a comment, it's hard to get people to do that. So if they're taking time, then respond back to them, because then they're going to have more of an encouragement to respond on the next post and the next post and the next post. You want to build those relationships and even put them in your DM. Thank you so much for commenting. It meant a lot. If you're ever interested or someone is interested, please let me know how I can help. I'm running a special, or here are some befores and afters. I'll give you $100 referral. There are so many things you can do to turn someone who responds into a potential lead. The second thing that could be happening too is that you're offering value. And this is a huge, huge thing when it comes to social media. People are always so fascinated on these numbers of followers and following and what's going on their posts. If you're not offering value to your audience, they have no business being on your page. What are they going to do? Right. So I'm not saying give away everything, but think of where you are. I mean, you have SMP. So what were some of the questions that you had when you got your procedure done? What were you researching? What were some of the things you were looking up?
Oh, you ask like what?
Yeah, I'm asking. Yeah, what were some things
I
that you were
was
interested?
I looked up scalp solutions.
Great, but like some of the Q and A's, what were
No,
some common things
like
that you were?
I wanted to know, like, does SMP fade? Is it
Yes.
painful? What kind of pigment, do they use?
Hmm.
Like
Basic
a very
things.
basic, yeah.
Yeah, so you want to be a value and a resource where people are looking for these common questions. Let them come to your page and find those answers without you having to do it in advance. And it also looks to them, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. Does it fade? Is it permanent? Is it going to turn green? What happens when I go gray? Can you do my beard? What if I have a scar? Do I need to get a mole removed? Guys, the list is endless. And so if you can stay ahead of that and offer value to where you seem like you know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to SMP, they're going to be more confident in coming to you too. Because hey, this guy knows Scalp Solutions knows what he's talking about. David's got it, and he had it on his own head. You're a walking billboard. Look,
Right.
I mean, honestly, it's a no
Even though
brainer.
I hide it now more because I got it didn't ever.
Well, you got new hats coming in too. I've seen those. Look good.
Oh yeah, I'll send
I
one.
see you. I see you. You should just make a hat where it's just the front and it shows your S&P underneath,
This
like a
is this
clear
is
hat.
this is my hairline.
Look, ask me about my hairline or something. So I mean, and so those are things you can do for free, and you can just pick up your iPhone and be like, "Hey, I'm Billy Bob," and questions that people ask me all the time: Is it going to fade? Answer the question and offer value. If you have any more questions, drop them below. I'd love to answer some questions for you. I'd love to be here. Let me know how I can help. You're building up a community of like-minded people who want to come to you because they know you have the knowledge. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And you said something about, and I want to just bring back, I want to go back to it because you talk about, which essentially is following up. And you know it, I know it, but a lot of others don't understand the power of following up. And I find that some people in the industry, and I don't participate in most of the not the blogs, like these forums, because I just see some of them, they're just like incredibly ignorant. And that lets me know like they truly just don't understand entrepreneurialism, marketing, or anything, where they talk about, you see how you said there was a comment, you said now you can reply back to the comment, and you can even DM them and let them know, hey, I'm running a sale now, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Where to most in the industry, they make that seem like, oh, well, that comes across as desperation. What is your view on that with the following up? I mean, we both know it's a necessary evil. Like it has to be done. Like that's how
Sure.
you close. Like,
Yeah, I would say maybe don't make it a desperation. Remove yourself from it. Remove yourself from the equation. Instead of it being, what can they do to me? They can bring me money. Look at it from their perspective. What can you do for them? How can you help them? And make it about the customer. Find out their objection. What is it that they're having problems with? Why are they waiting? Do they even need it? What are they waiting? Do they want to keep their hair? Do they think they're not having hair loss? What Find out what their problem is and be a resource to help them with their problem, but don't make it about you. I think that's a big common thing that people when they're starting out, they're so thirsty. And I love that. I love the passion of it. Keep going on that. Find all of that, but don't project your fear of being successful onto your customer. Be there for them. See what they need. So when you're in the DMs, there's a difference in like, hey, I got you. I'm going to help you. I'm the best. Don't do that. Be like, yo, I just want to know what's going on. Tell me your story. What's going on? When did you start experience hair loss? Find out their story. Why are they even there on your page? Oh, I thought it was cool. Oh,
so
it's a
is
bunch of dots. I mean, whatever. Fine.
it,
And turn your haters into cut. I love haters. They're my favorite because
yeah.
they're the customers. I love
And
them.
so essentially what you're saying is you just making it about them and
Make
then
it about
come
them.
in and then close.
Come in and close. Always make it about them and just listen because they're scared. I mean, you went through hair loss too. I mean, you're scared. You're putting a permanent tattoo on your head with a bunch of needles. And it's like, oh, I've never had a tattoo before. This is terrifying. But my confidence is down. I'm 24 years old. I can't get chicks. I mean, whatever the situation, or
Hey,
women.
hey,
Yeah,
I
I know.
was getting chicks. No, I
I'm
wasn't.
just saying. I'm
I
just
wasn't. I
saying.
just had a McDonald's shape up hairline. So I was
But I
not.
mean, women too. I mean, women clients go through it. And I'm not just talking to the male audience. Hopefully there's some female audience on here. But women also go through it when they have babies. It's just it's scary when you start losing your hair. So have a place of compassion for your customers and don't make it so pushy. Just listen. It's amazing what you'll learn when you just listen to your customer.
Got you. Yeah, for sure. And now back with Instagram, right? So you got you want to reply back to those messages, right? Because someone obviously took their time to compliment you, and it can come across as like disrespectful. I guess is it a sign of like disrespect? Like, yo, dude, I just took time to compliment you. The least you could do is say thank you or flex your bicep or do a fire. Give me a fire.
Great hands.
Give me a fire. It's not even praying hands. Supposedly, it's like it's a high five. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
It's
That's a high five. But they have the high five one too, where he's got the little hand. No?
no,
Oh,
it's waving.
oh God.
So check this out. This is totally, but whatever. It's Mark. Listen, some people it can come across wrong, right? Because I was reading it and it's like all you people commenting on people like whose family passed away. These hands are not praying hands.
I do that all the time.
It's a high five.
Ugh. This just got really awkward.
Just don't reply
Well,
back with the praying hands when they say, "Can you help me?" It's like, yeah, high five. Yeah, of course I
I'll
can.
just put the hearts. Oh, one thing. Oh, go ahead. But there is something I want to touch on if I can remember it.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you guys get these DMs that come in the folders, where it's like, hey, are you an SMP artist? I can help you grow. Or are you looking to make investments? Please don't fall for that stuff.
Gonna
Guys, people are not, if my rule of thumb is, and I have much respect to people who cold blast DMs, but don't fall for it. Go work with somebody and trust somebody and do that. These people are coming in, I can get you 100,000 followers. Please don't fall for it. It's a scam. And now they're even targeting SMP specific people in the DMs.
yeah, I've been getting a whole
Marketing, I got
crap.
you.
Yeah, I can get you 15 to 20 leads guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. And then when you look, it's like some 15-year-old kid who just saw like 3 of Alex Hormozi's YouTube.
More power to them. But you know what? You've got
Right.
my number. And if you're on your bio, if you don't have your number, your address, who you are, what you do, if you don't have basic stuff on there, please start there.
Yeah,
Please start.
I don't even
Okay.
need
Okay.
this.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
even
All
need
right.
this. See, this
Yeah.
is
No.
why.
Yeah. Yeah. But have them pick
Tell
up
us
the phone and call
everything.
you.
Yeah, so let's go back to IG, right? Because I kind of wanted it, because for the most part, SMP artists, especially the new artists, and I've for the most part, that's my viewers is the new up and coming artists, and the main thing that they gravitate to is Instagram, not Facebook, it's not TikTok, Instagram. So with Instagram, I'm setting up my profile. What should be the basic information that should be on my Instagram profile?
Well, your profile picture needs to say something about your business or you or your brand. Profile picture, start there.
Hey you guys, we are excited to share with you some very exciting news. We have created an online training platform that you can do in the palm of your hand.
With over 20 modules and nearly 80 lessons, this is the most comprehensive and detailed scale microimplementation course out there.
For those of you who can't travel here, maybe you're in other countries, you can now learn from your computer, you can sit at home, you can sit in a bus, and you can learn scalp micropigmentation with the greatest innovators in this industry.
Want to learn more? Click the link below.
Your next thing is you need to have SMP somewhere in the bio so that when people are typing in SMP, your name will pop up somewhere in that algorithm. So in your bio, you need to have, who you are, where you are, put your address. There's ways you can put your geotag. We call them geotags. So you're tagging your location, you're tagging your name, you're tagging your Instagram, and then maybe a little thing about you, SMP artist, master barber, whatever it is you want to say, PMU artist, 20 plus years. And then underneath that, you have the options to set up your profile to message, call. So use your call to action buttons that Instagram builds out for you. And on those, you definitely want to have some way that they can contact you. Some people use third-party scheduling apps too, where you can schedule and link up like Booksy or Schedulely. If you want to do that, great. But when you're just starting out, adding another expense could be overwhelming to some artists. So just start small. Just have email or message or call. Have some kind of contact button on there. And then from there, like I said, just, start engaging, start finding like-minded artists to follow barbers, follow hair loss pages so that Instagram now understands what your genre is on your page. Don't go following hoes. Don't go following family. If it's your business page, keep it business. Because otherwise they're going to start bringing hoes to your page, which could be fun, but they're not going to pay your bills.
I was going to ask, like, does that affect, how about the following, like people that you choose to follow? Does that affect, I don't know if it's the algorithm or the people that actually view your page? So for example, right, I'm Scalp Solutions and predominantly I'm just looking at other SMP artists. If I start searching OnlyFans or whatever, foot fetish, that's what I'm in. That's
Feet are beautiful, whatever.
what I'm into.
Well, the way to maybe you want to tattoo some toe hair. Maybe it's a new thing in 10 years. Who knows? We're all lasering it off now, but in 10 years, put some swirls.
I'm gonna put some swirls on your pinky toe.
Sexy. So what I would suggest as a way to test it is go to that little search bar icon in the bottom of your page and just see what comes up for your page. That's a good test. This is what Instagram thinks you like and what they're going to continue to bring to your page. And it's going to be what they're going to continue to suggest for your page. So if you're only seeing, toes or cars or whatever it is that you're interested in, that's what Instagram thinks your page is all about. They think it's your interests. So if you start going to SMP and tattoo and PMU and barbers, then you'll see on your explore page, okay, I've got it. I hit it. I'm on the right market.
I'm scared to look at mine. So if I go into search right now, right, just hit the little
your search icon.
Right. And then
so you have home, search. Let's see I want you to show it. We want to see it.
Jesus.
Let's see it. Come on.
Let's see what we got. We got
we've got women.
Bad Bunny, women. Hey guys getting married and dancing because that's what that's what I'm into. And strong women.
Strong women.
Yeah.
Cool. It looks like you go there for a little bit of entertainment too. I see some.
I'm into the IFBB, heavyweight 350 pound deadlifting owomen. Yep. I want to be thrown around and told to shut up
while they play with your toes.
While they play with while I SMP their toes.
Sounds like a great market. I can help you with that.
You out there, Dave.
Deal.
So back with IG,
Mhm.
you brought something up, and it's a tool that a lot of us have absolutely no idea exists, but we'll be ready to pay someone who hits us up and goes, hey, I can tell you who's looking at your page, what's their age group, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There is a way to get it
Mhm.
for free 99 on Instagram. Can
Mhm.
you navigate us through that?
Sure can. Let me see. I think I have left my phone. I got one right here. All right. If you pull up your Instagram, and this is now, I don't want to date this video because it's always changing. All right. You go to your little profile page. And so if you're looking at your home screen, search bar, little reels play, the shop, and then you see a little profile on the bottom, right? On the top right, there's a little hamburger. We call it the hamburger. It's 3 lines. If you
Oh, I
click
was
on
like, I
that,
don't have a hamburger on mine. Okay,
yeah, I'll
got it.
show you.
I see
So
it now. 3
you
lines.
see it little, whoop,
Yep.
those 3 lines. Okay, click the 3 lines. It's going to take you to this page here. If you scroll down, you see the word insights. Do you see insights?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, to access insights, your page has to be set up as a business account. So let's not get too far ahead here. And the way to do that is you want to link your Instagram to your Facebook, not your personal Facebook. You have to open up a face. Actually, that might not be true anymore. I think you can link it to your
Yeah,
personal.
you can link it to your personal now.
You can now. Yeah. In the old days, you had to open a
It
separate
had to be a
business
separate page for your business.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that your Instagram account is your settings. You want to, when it goes to your account, you set it up to, it'll say personal or professional. You want to switch it to professional. And then you want to link it to your Facebook. Now that makes you a business account. It's going to ask you a bunch of different options, a way that you can set your account. Do you want to be an influencer? Are you, there's a bunch of different words. So pick the one that best fits you. And then you'll go to that little option to insights. And this is where marketing people live. This is our data side. So when you click here, it's going to pull up, I don't know if you can see it. It'll pull up all of your data on your page, right? So right now, currently it says, if you go to where it says accounts reached.
Yeah.
Do you see that word? If you click it, it's going to open up to a new page. This will show you your top cities. It'll show you the countries that you're being featured in. It'll show you your age range for your audience. It's going to show you the gender on your page. And then if you keep scrolling down, it'll tell you like how you've reached most people. So it's either going to be through reels or posts or stories, and it breaks all of this information down for you. So why I look at this is important because I want to see if I'm targeting the right market. For you, you're in New York. So if you're not hitting New York as one of your top audiences, something's off. We need to start bringing your audience to New York. Unless, of course, you're reaching outside of there to try to get other people to fly from outside of New York. That's different. It just depends on what your goals are. Your top countries, obviously you want to see if you're bringing in a lot of people from, Colombia, maybe there's an untapped market in Colombia you should be reaching out to. And ads are really, really affordable. I'm not going to say cheap because, cheap devalues it, but it's very affordable. So bring some of these people in, start reaching out. You have a market there. You want to look at your age range. Are you hitting your audience from 12 to 15-year-olds? If so, they're not dealing with hair loss like your other audience was. You need to start shift it into who you think would be your ideal audience. So for me, for SMP artists, we're looking at 25-year-olds to maybe 50-year-olds. And I say that because people under 25, if it's alopecia, they could be going through stress, and that hair might grow back. Also 25 is when I think men and women are starting to develop more hair loss at this point. Past 50, and when they hit 50, you're going to get those midlife crisis from 40 to 50 where they're like, I'm back in the game, baby.
I'm back in, coach.
Yeah, let's go. Once you hit 50, you've accepted your male pattern baldness. So my rule of thumb is there's not really much of a market past 55 for men. And you could correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just what I've seen. So I'm not going to spend a bunch of ad money in that side. I'm going to target 25 to mainly maybe 45-year-olds. That would be my niche. And then, again, men, if you've got mostly men on your page, then target to the men. If you have mostly women on the page, you need to shift your communication. If you're a PMU artist who is just getting into SMP and all you have are a female audience, then you need to start asking those women if they're suffering from hair loss, if their husbands are suffering from hair loss, if their family members. There's just a way to network. It shifts how you're going to market your audience. So use this as information.
Yeah, who was next to me You know what? I'm not gonna say their name. Was next to me that looked at me and was like, I did not know you could do that. And I was like, for
Yeah.
real? I was
And
like,
it goes even more
"Oh."
in depth than
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say, like, this is
Mhm.
just like the very, like, this is, how do you say, like the very top of
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
level. Like, you could really like dive
Yeah.
deep in there and start really looking for all the different. I didn't even try that. I do remember one time when I didn't know what I know now. Someone showing it to me, some guy who did like SEO, and he was like, "Oh, look, you can do this, and I'll do this for you." And like a dumbass, I paid this dude $8,000 to it for something that I totally had access to.
Oh
Yeah, yeah, I was a
no.
victim too. So if you
It
guys,
happens.
well, it happens. You know, you're a victim. You hear them throw these numbers out,
Mhm.
what I can do for you, and they show you. You know, they wow you with a few tricks. You know, behind the profile, and you're like, oh, this guy knows his stuff. So yeah, it's happened
You
to
could do it on your own.
me.
And it's a good tool to use if, for instance, like I've had a bunch of girlfriends in the fitness industry and they post sexy bodies and they're not having sales with their supplement companies. And I'm like, look at your insights. And if you look at it and their audience is mostly men, but they have this supplement company that focuses on women, they're not going to have any sales on their page because their audience is all men looking at them half naked, right? So I'm like, you need to shift your audience and start speaking more to the females. And then once they do that, then their sales go up.
Or
Same
come out
thing.
with man protein.
Yeah. Or switch your supplement, work with the male. So know your audience before you go in and start promoting all this stuff. It's also a good tool to see if, when you are going to do ads, if your ads are working for you. Say your audience right now is mostly 25 to 34-year-olds and you want to hit the market from 35 to 45. You want to hit an ad on that and then see if it's growing. See if your ad is working. You can check it based on your insights. So go back, run an ad for a month and see if you see a growth in that audience, in that age range. Or if you want to just focus on women, see if your women numbers adjust. So take a screenshot, run an ad for a month, and then cross test it. And you can do all that on your own for free. Don't pay somebody $8,000 to do that.
You know what? I think it was more than that. Actually, I think
I
it was.
bet.
I believe I paid $12,000,
Ugh, I hate
and it
hearing
wasn't even for. It
stories.
wasn't even for 3 months.
Oh my gosh,
It
I'm
was
so
like a
sorry.
7th month, like a 6 week, 7 week. I don't think, not campaign, but a contract.
Mhm.
So,
But here's the thing you learn from it. It's an
oh yeah, of
expensive
course.
lesson,
This is
but
an
you learn from
expensive
it.
lesson learned. Never do it
Mhm.
again. You also spoke of on Instagram, right? Because we're just exclusively dealing with Instagram right now, because I feel like that's just what most usually tap into. You spoke about the people that you follow, how to separate them from your personal and from your business, and how you should keep just within follow back the people that are within the industry. Is that what it was?
Mhm. That's what I like to suggest. I know sometimes, family members will be upset that they're following you and you're not following them back. And just tell them, this is my page. I'm trying to saturate my market right now, but I'm going to happily follow you on my personal page. And I thank you so much for your support on my business page. Also, when people come in and they get their procedures done, they're going to want you to follow them back too. But just if they're not in the industry, it's not personal, and do you tag the customers that come in? Do you want, there's all kinds of things you can do here, but there's a way where you can still support them, and you can like hide their tags so that your current clients don't go out and harass them. They're like, oh, I want to see what it looks like in the sun, or what do because people will start doing that.
Yeah,
People get
that's
crazy.
a thing.
So it's not personal, it's business, and at the end of the day, you got to keep your page focused on your brand.
So now, could you explain what exactly is the benefit? Like, what's the pro, what's the con of even doing that? Like, why not follow your friends and family on the business page? Like, does it do something to the algorithm? Like, what does it affect?
There's a theory that the algorithm will adjust. It'll start finding the interest of the people that you follow and start assuming that those are the things that you want to follow as well. So say you follow somebody who is a family member who does bulldog breeding, and so then all of a sudden Instagram's like, well, maybe he likes bulldog breeding, and you're going to start getting all these bulldog breeding pages popping up because now you're following that page. And then the next person you follow may be like a lawn mowing company. Well, now you're going to start seeing lawn. So Instagram pulls all the data. It's an AI technology, and they're pulling what they think you're interested in and what your page is focused on, which is why I say your posts, this goes back to another conversation too, but if you're going to use it as a business page, don't post any personal stuff on your business page. Keep it branded similar. You
Gotcha.
can still, there's a way to still show your family on your business page with keeping it professional and tapping into the business. And what that looks like is, if it's your daughter's second birthday, don't be like, happy birthday, boo boo, and just post a random picture of your daughter. It's cute and people are going to love it. But be like, you know, my future SMP artist in the house turning 2 today and have like put the tattoo machine. There's a way to still incorporate the brand without just blatantly making a post. That could be on your story.
I
Does
was
that
just,
make
what
sense?
about in
Am
your
I
stories? Why, what about in your stories?
Yeah, post them on your stories. Have fun on that for sure. Or make a reel. Like, I'm in the studio. I got to get out of here because it's my daughter's 2nd birthday. I can't wait to get home and celebrate. But start the reel at the beginning as SMP. You're doing a procedure. You're practicing on a melon or synthetic skin, whatever you're doing, and then show it's her birthday. And then the next day, back to work in the studio. So there's a way to incorporate it where you're still tying in the business part of it and giving a shout out to your 2-year-old.
Got you. That makes
Mhm.
perfect sense. I was guilty of that in the beginning too, and then I was like, I got to stop doing this. I don't know what
Mhm.
made me even think about doing it. It was just a friend who has absolutely no marketing, nothing. It's like, yo, why you do that? You got a personal page, and I was like, you know,
Yeah,
I feel like
personal.
it. And I thought about it. I was like, you know, he's absolutely right.
But on the flip side, and not to be a devil's advocate, people also want to know who David Santiago is. They want to know who you are and your brand and what you stand for. And so you also want to kind of float that thin line of sharing a little bit about who you are as well. So use your reels to show your lifestyle and your work and your family. And, you know, there's a way to do it. You know, you can look at Kim Kardashian and North right now. They're still branding themselves, but they're branding themselves together with making it professional, but it's still entertaining. So you can still do it. I'm not saying don't do it. Don't just post pictures of the heads because people could find that anywhere. They want to know why they should come to you. But
Got
this is where you can show your personal side and offer value again, going back to the beginning of, you know, answering some basic Q&As for them. You're showing them who you are, that you're confident in the knowledge that you have, and that you've got befores and afters there.
Yes. Awesome. Appreciate that. Super
Mhm.
duper valuable. I have a two-parter for you. Hopefully, I don't
Okay.
confuse it before we wrap it up, right? So, if you were a new SMP artist, right? And I feel confident posing this question to you because you probably know more about SMP than some of the artists that do SMP. If you were a new SMP artist, what would be the first 3 things you would do from either a marketing or content creating perspective?
Mm.
And it
So
doesn't have to be in like the most important first, just like what would be 3 like immediately that you should just do?
my first advice would be nobody knows you. So you have to get known. And one of my mentors always says, who has the best hamburger, McDonald's or this guru hamburger steakhouse? Well, obviously McDonald's. It doesn't mean it's the best burger. They're just the best known. So nobody's going to know who you are when you first start out. So just post, get out there, get in the game, just start posting stuff for fun. It doesn't matter. Don't wait for it to be perfect. Just get it out there. And then my second thing would be maybe take a day, 1 day a month, because it can be overwhelming when you're just building your brand to be like, I got to post, I got to have all these things I have to do. Take 1 day, maybe spend 3 hours and make a schedule. Monday, I'm posting this picture. Tuesday, I'm posting this reel. This is what the caption's going to say. These are the hashtags I'm going to use. This is what the content's going to be. Create a schedule and then maybe have all those pictures and all those videos ready to go, set up in a file. So you don't have to think about it. You just post it this day, done. Tuesday, post it, done. Wednesday, post, and just don't make it so overwhelming. Because if you spend 3 hours a day every day for a month, just trying to figure out how to make it perfect and write the right, 1 day you may be creative, the next day you've got brain farts and you're like, I don't know what to do. It can be overwhelming. So just pick a day a month where you feel encouraged to do it and just make a schedule, 30 days. And if you don't have enough content, come up with something. Again, offer value. 3 things an SMP artist should know. Here are 5 tips I want to give a client before coming in to get SMP. Here's the most common question. Number 3 is going to blow your mind about aftercare. Something. Just come up with creative, film it, dump it, and get on with your day. Right. And then the next day when you go to post, make sure you're engaging, of course. So those would be my first 2. And then figure out your brand when you have time. What sets you apart? Like if I were to start SMP, what would set me apart from you? What would set you apart from Taylor? What sets you apart from Orlando? What sets you apart from Majestic? You're all completely different people, but I find what SMP artists do is they go in and they want to mimic what other people are doing because that's what they see as successful. Well, guess what? That's already done. They're not going to follow you, Joe Schmo, if they can follow Taylor Perry Studios, who's already done it. So find out what makes you different and really go into that because I think what sets people apart is what people are going to follow. Some of the craziest people on social media, you're like, how is this guy? Because he's such a character and he's entertaining and he's doing something different. And each one of us, we're all different in our own way. And we each have something to offer. You don't have to copy somebody else. Figure out your niche, stay in that lane and just dominate it. Let other people copy you.
Right.
So those would be my first 3 things. And if you have time to get a website as a 4th bonus, get your domain. Just get a basic website so you can create landing pages.
Dope. And now, as the add-on to it, right? The second part was, so now I do these 3-4 things that
Mhm.
you just said. At what point do I have the credibility to now work with you? Like, how does that work? Like, you, because I'm pretty sure you can't just, do you just take on any artist regardless of the level of success that they have in the industry, or are you looking for a base like, hey, you should be doing this amount of clients, you should be bringing in this amount of capital, et cetera, et cetera?
I'll bring in any client that wants to work with us and that wants to grow. I want people who are motivated, who believe in what they're doing. Don't bring me on to save you, because you got to save yourself. I'm going to throw the life raft back out at you. And I think there are a lot of clients that do come to us because they're at the point of scaling and they know that that's what they need. That's a different conversation. But if you're just getting started and you're putting in, I need you to match the energy, because I think one of the big things that a lot of companies miss is the energy, not to get too like guru and woo woo on you, but we have to put forth something. Where your attention goes, your energy is going to flow. And if you're like, I'm just going to build this empire and let everybody else run it, then you're not an SMP artist. You're a business person. So understand what it is that you're really doing. But if you're an artist and you believe in what you do and you've been practicing and you're confident that you're ready and you just don't have the time to make the content, sure, call me. Call me. My husband and I will show up. We'll make you some content. We'll help brand you. We'll get you in there. I mean, I'll take anybody. I love working with all kinds of people, and everybody, like I said, everyone's different. So my goal is to help find out what sets them apart from each other.
Dope. And can you let the listeners know if they wanted to get in contact with you or wanted to, ask any questions or possibly do business with you, where they could reach you on these social platforms, websites?
Yeah, you can hit us up at My Time Media. That's, do you want me to spell it for you, or you're gonna like pop it up in the screen? It's MAITIEMEDIA. My Time Media. You can follow my personal page too, Stefani Baca. But My Time Media is for the goal for 2023. Again, we're just launching this brand. Is to offer value for you guys as well. So we'll be putting in some stuff like, this is how you can grow your brand. So it's free. If you guys don't have the budget to afford somebody like us to come in, fine. But you can also go here and get some free value. Or you can email us at mytimemedia@gmail.com. You can call us. We'll always answer the phones. Should I give my personal number?
No, do not do that.
It's 911 SMPtoes.com.
Some of these dudes are creepy. They'll call you in a heartbeat. I don't want no problem. I don't want no problem with Dave.
Yeah, so email us, reach out, find us on Instagram. We have My Time Productions, My Time Media, Stefani Baca. We got all kinds of pages.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And I tried, guys, my best to navigate through this and get as much out of her as I possibly can without overstepping to the, where it's like, all right, Dave, you gotta pay for those questions to be answered. No, I know that's not your style, but I also know you do have a business to run and you can't just put everything out there. We got to give them a little tease. Maybe we bring you back again and we drop a little more value bombs for them.
That'd be fun. I mean, one of our goals this year is to host marketing workshops too. So that is something that if people keep in touch, they can either do virtual workshops with us and we can go more in depth on their brands, or they can show up in person and we can work with them directly as well.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, definitely keep me in the loop with that. I would love to participate with that. Would it be from a student's perspective or just, helping out?
It would be kind of maybe, I don't know if it would be targeted specifically for SMP, more for everybody, any brand, any business, and just teaching you how to more target your business into today's very competitive marketplace.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds amazing. So, Stefani, I appreciate you for taking out some time out of your busy schedule to come on the podcast, chop it up with us, and give us some value, give us some content creating and some marketing skills, especially for IG. So thank you for that.
Thank you, David. I appreciate you having me on. Really means a lot.
Thank you again. And guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Scalp Solutions podcast. Until the next time, peace.
Peace.